Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't think that songs that are talking about like glorifying wet female genitalia is exactly, I don't know which one wrote that song. Which one was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But by the way, the role models of the 1940s and 50s for black America were completely different.
So it is a representation issue.
Hold on a second. No, not representation. It's who do you get your art from? It's what values are they putting forward? For example, more times than not, black politicians will lament the condition of America. It's systemically racist. It's terrible. What does that do to a 14-year-old black kid if you just find that you hear that everything is rigged against you? Instead, they should be saying, hey, there might be some barriers, but if you believe in yourself enough, you can achieve in this country. It creates a form of social conditioning of low expectations, and that's not my argument. You know whose argument that is?
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. This administration is full of people with heart and soul. Oh, Gavi Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start. Bitch, you a pussy. Never finna check me. Every chance you get, bet your weak ass wanna dress me.
When somebody tells you who they are, you should believe them. And Nicki Minaj told y'all who she was, not once, not twice, not 3 times, a lot of times. And this time with a megaphone. Can y'all hear her now? I was not surprised to see that Nicki Minaj turned up at Turning Point USA, cozying up to white supremacy. And she's telling young men all across America, don't be like Gavin Newsom, be like Donald Trump. None of that surprises me. Of course she wants young men to be like Donald Trump, because they would be more like her husband and her brother. I told y'all a long time ago about her and her fan base. Her fan base got more MAGA energy than a Bass Pro Shop parking lot. And stop pretending this is new behavior, because y'all already know Nicki has done a lot of deplorable stuff. Did y'all forget about her mocking the victim? This is survival politics with a lace front. That's what this is. And I keep telling you, she's an immigrant. And some immigrants, when they come here, they want to lay in bed with white supremacy, but then they want to sell their product to black America. Y'all need to remember. So when she's come up out that Crypt Keeper hole and she want to sell those raggedy ass albums, y'all need to remind her who she was in bed with. I just wonder how many times platinum could Turning Point actually take any of her projects. Nicki Minaj is not like us. She never...
Nicki Minaj, you have officially crossed the line. I am a longtime Barb, so before any of the Barbs try to come at me and say that I'm a hater of Nicki, I don't like Nicki, I'm literally wearing the merch I got from going from her tour twice. Also a signed CD up there. Now, the only reason why I'm addressing this is because I had a few comments, and also I'm very much so a proud Barb. As of the past year, it has been so hard to continue my support to Nicki Minaj because of the way she's supporting the current administration right now. I have saw past, you know, her husband, and I have never condoned that, and I never really liked him. I never supported that at all, and I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I love Nicki Minaj, so that's something I'm willing to look past. I'm not saying it's a good thing to look past at all. However, I was a hardcore Barb. I still am a hardcore Barb. I love Nicki down. Her music has helped me so much throughout my teenage coming out era, and just like everything. She's helped me so much through her music, and she has empowered me and makes me feel empowered. So to see her support this administration that goes against everything that I am is so disheartening. More so making this video because, again, I'm very much so a barb, and on my online presence, I'm not afraid to tell people that I am and show it, like in my backgrounds or if I'm wearing a Nicki shirt as I'm getting ready. That's why I feel like I need to address it, because I do get comments of people asking me, why do I have Nicki up, or why do I have this, or why do I do that when it comes to Nicki Minaj. And this is me addressing it finally, and I've kept it kind of to myself for the longest time. Have not wanted to do this with Nicki Minaj, but I have to separate the art from the artist, and it sucks. It sucks. It's of what she tweets and all the things that happened this past year. And when I go on to like check in, and like maybe she said like, oh, this was all a joke, or maybe like this is all this and that, it just gets worse. And I feel like she's digging herself in a bigger hole every time situation this past year, and enough is enough. And I'm not saying that I'm not ever going to listen to a Nicki Minaj song ever again, because she's literally on my playlist. She's my top artist for the past like ever. Nicki Minaj religiously. If you know me in person, I'm always quoting Nicki. I cannot stand and condone everything she has done at this point, and I feel like it just got to a point where I'm just done. I'm wishing her the best. I really wish nothing but the best for Nicki Minaj, because I'm such a huge fan of her, but it's just so disheartening, and I can't support it anymore. I've cut friends, I've cut family off that supported the current administration, and I don't think it's fair for me to not follow suit with her. And yeah, and it sucks to see that she's allowing them to use her and use the barbs to kind of create this agenda around everything, and it sucks. It sucks. This is my message to my followers and the barbs. It's time to make Nicki realize that she is not in the right, and it's time that we do something about it and not just condone her behavior.
MAGA Minaj.
Her becoming full right-wing MAGA, as much as I may make fun of it, it seems absolutely insane and not representative. I'm not saying Nicki was filled with ideals in her music, but yo, she was outright like anti-transgender yesterday on stage. She was like nasty about transgender people. I'm like, like Amber Rose, another person just forgetting who her people were.
One of the reasons that people like the Trump administration, who usually weren't even that political, but maybe had some things, you know, some carryover from other lifestyles that they needed to deal with, is because you could pay for access to the president of the United States.
That's unusual.
And because you can do that, people are like, I like this guy because I never would have got access to
Barack. I couldn't have bought my way out of something.
No. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I understand it. I don't support it, but I understand these people and their agenda.
But correct me if I'm wrong. That's the definition in the textbook of sellout, right?
1,000%.
Van Silk in the raid. Listen, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But this is Van Silk. Common sense with Van Silk. I'm going to say this. Nicki Minaj had the internet on fire yesterday. She decided to go with Charlie Kirk's wife and do the Turning Point. And listen. You are entitled to do whatever you want. I like doing my videos while I walk, trying to keep the sun, watching my Star Wars and protect the kinks. So, listen, Nicki Minaj is entitled to do what she want to do. Now, I'm hearing people talking about, oh, you can't get canceled. Okay. You praise Donald Trump, praise J.D. Vance. So that means you approve this whole administration of everything they're doing. Mind you, allegedly Nicki Minaj is an immigrant because she's not a citizen of the United States. She's born in Trinidad and came here, or however, her background. With so many millions of followers she have on Instagram, a lot of them can't even vote. And the young minds today is is not even developed because of social media enabled them to get any knowledge or education. Your husband's in jail. Trump can't pardon him because it's a state charge. But I'm not going to get into all that. I just want to know why. Now, I always play people's opinions. I don't have anything against what another person decides to do. Just remember the repercussion behind the choices you make in life, because things might be different for you. You're going to have to take care of that and bear that situation on your own. Because when the game is over, your fans is not going to be there for you. I just wish some of these artists would sit back and understand some of the decisions that they make. Like I said, I don't care how many followers you got, how many of them could really vote. And if you, the way you praise Donald Trump, to me was disgusting. Because he's a disgusting human being that have been very nasty towards women of color. Disrespectful to women of color. No matter what country you come from, you're still a woman of color, Nikki. Now I know you're seeing some of the videos, opinions before I came on. I'm gonna play some afterwards. But again, you are entitled to whatever opinion you want. But I'm gonna see pros and cons of what people say. Because I'm fair. Common sense is Van Silk. If you don't have common sense, then you have no sense. I'm not gonna sit up here, oh, Nicki Minaj is this, she's dumb or she's stupid. No, that's the choice you made to get up on that Turning Point stage. These are the same people that's putting Charlie Kirk on the same level as Martin Luther King. Are you kidding me? Of course you're gonna have a bunch of people on social media spreading false things about Martin Luther King and this and that. This social media has become a tragedy dungeon for garbage. Because great things and great positive stuff don't get the clicks and the views. It's always the negative. But I want to see how many platforms and podcasts and people is going to call you out. But they don't have to call you out. They could just make an opinion because you are your self-entity, your self-standalone person. Me? I don't dislike you. I just don't like what you just did. That's painful. I can't even watch you like that anymore because you can't flip-flop. Well, you know, oh, I didn't really understand. I was misguided. No, you tried for political reasons. Maybe some of the people in the music industry or the entertainment industry is making you do this stuff. When you went to the UN, what was that about? Is it genuinely from your heart or do you want something in return? From the felon sitting in the White House that's been convicted 34 times. But you don't mind about that. A lot of those people didn't even know none of your songs, Nikki, that when you got up on that stage, I bet you none of them couldn't even name one of your songs. I watched the Fox News post and, oh, well, she's well-spoken and she's this and that. 24 hours prior to that, you were just another nigga who made videos and twerk. Now, let's see what the people got to say, because I'm out. I don't really have anything negative to say. I'm just making my post, my opinion. At the end of the day, we all entitled to an opinion because opinions are like assholes. Always remember that. Guess I'm an asshole. This is Common Sense with Van Silk on Rumble.com. Go to my channel, support, subscribe, share. Check out some of the other videos that are Common Sense made about topics that we need to focus on. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all have a blessed day.
Amen. Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nicki Minaj betrayed her fans, and she will face the consequences. She showed up at a U.S. conservative event and started saying things like boys being boys is fine, and fans immediately clocked it as anti-trans. For a lot of people, this wasn't just another bad take. It felt like a straight-up betrayal. Nicki's career was built by queer people, full stop. She had a gay male alter ego. She went on Drag Race. She used to hang out in gay bars and hype up her LGBTQ fans like they were family. That community didn't just stream her music, they made her iconic. So seeing her now cozy up to conservative spaces and talk in ways that sound dismissive toward trans people feels like a straight-up betrayal. Fans online are saying she's forgotten who her audience actually is. And a lot of them aren't just mad, they're walking away. You've got people saying they're done streaming her music, done defending her, and done pretending this is just free speech. Some are even saying this is how artists fall off, not overnight, but slowly, when the fans who loved you the most stop caring. What do you think? Is she just speaking her mind, or did she cross a line she can't come back from?
Nicki Minaj is at risk of losing her $20 million mansion. Now, most of you are thinking, how is this possible? Is she going broke? Is she having tax problems? And the answer is no. It's actually over something that seems petty, but has gotten out of control. So let's get into it. Nicki Minaj, born Annika Tanya Mirage Petty, is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. A Trinidad-born, Queens-raised rapper who changed the entire culture of hip-hop. She's a record-breaking artist, a fashion icon, and a global force with more than 100 billion chart entries and a massive loyal fan base that's known as the Barbs. And by the way, they go to war for her. Nicki built an empire. She's not just a rapper, she's a cultural phenomenon. Now this is where it all gets messy. Back in 2019, during a concert in Germany, a security guard by the name of Thomas Weidenmuller said he was assaulted backstage when Nicki's husband, Kenneth Petty, punched him in the face without warning, breaking his jaw and causing serious injuries that required multiple surgeries. Now that security guard sued Nicki and her husband for $21,000 in medical bills and $700,000 in pain and suffering. However, Nicki and her husband never responded to the lawsuit. Now, for those of you who don't understand lawsuits, if you're being sued, you have to respond to the courts. If you fail to respond, it will lead to what's called a default judgment, which basically means you lose the lawsuit by default. So by not responding, Nicki loses the lawsuit in a default judgment, and the judge awarded the security guard $503,000 for medical bills, pain and suffering, and emotional damages. Now, although this seems like a crazy amount of money to the average person, when it comes to Nicki, it's literally a day's worth of work. She gets paid over $500,000 to do just one show. So now, fast forward to 2025. That security guard still has not been paid. After years of unsuccessful attempts to collect the judgment, including levy notices, garnishments, etc., he went back to court and asked the judge to seize Nicki's $20 million Hidden Hills, LA mansion. You know, the home she lives in. Now, Judge Cindy Panuco is ready to grant that request pending final mortgage documentation. Now, once that documentation is submitted, the judge will force Nicki to sell her mansion. That means the mansion would be sold and the lawsuit would be paid, and the remaining equity from the mansion would go back to Nicki. But the mansion itself would be sold whether she liked it or not. This is one of the most powerful tools that the court has. When someone refuses to pay a judgment, the court can go after assets, and in this case, the asset is Nicki's multi-million-dollar home. So now Nicki Minaj, one of the most successful artists of her generation, is on the brink of losing her home over a petty lawsuit. Now the irony is loud. Nicki Minaj Petty may lose her home over something this petty. It's not because she didn't have the money, it's because she didn't deal with the lawsuit. It's a reminder that even superstars face real consequences when the legal systems get involved, and ignoring a lawsuit can turn a small problem into a massive headache.
But Donald Trump, he gets to hang out with young and have 50 different wives and just be cool. Oh, Donald, we love you. Donald Trump. But when you're a girl, you have to be like everything. You have to be dope at what you do, but you have to be super sweet, and you have to be sexy, and you have to be this, and you have to be that, and you have to be nice, and you have to... It's like, I can't be all those things at once.
You have any thoughts on Donald Trump?
No, no thoughts. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I voted for him, actually.
Oh, yeah? What do you like about him?
I wanted to bring the job back to America, take care of the vets and the homeless.
And what country are you from?
From America.
Anyone in particular that you're excited to meet?
Well, tell me, who are the performers?
Nicki Minaj, you got Ariana Grande.
Good.
Are you fans of either?
I think they're both terrific.
I just talked to Donald Trump, and I told him that you were performing tonight. I asked him if he was a fan of yours.
Oh.
What do you think he said?
He probably said, "Who's that?"
No, he didn't. He said he's a fan.
Really? Donald Trump?
Surprise you?
Yes.
And the thing about Nicki Minaj is she's been gone. We lost her a long time ago. She got taken by them people a long time ago. And by them people, I'm talking about the demons in her mind, okay? And if what Cardi B said was true, which I believe it was true, and I'm not going to get into it here, we all saw the tweet. If that is true, it makes complete sense why she would turn out this way. I've seen many people, many women who've had the same type of experience go and turn out that exact same way because they can't fully process what happened to them, and they don't really want to fully accept it and get the help that they need. So they kind of just, you know, go on to the evil side. And, you know, I think that we needed to admit that we lost her a long time ago. When she was defending her brother for doing what he did, we know that she wasn't fully understanding. She wasn't fully there. When she married that man, that was it. I knew that was the beginning of the end for her. So to see the route that she's going down now, you know, how she has really, because she is a legend. She could have become legendary status. Her legacy is one that is like, regardless of how you feel about her, has made an impact. You know, and she definitely earned her spot. However, you know, I think that she's really tarnished all that by what she's doing right now. You know, it's like she reached a point and then just couldn't handle or maintain the status that was anointed to her. So now she's just burning it all down. And that is really sad. That's really sad. I'm gonna feel awkward. I'm gonna feel awkward about rapping Nicki bar for bar now. I'm like, I got all these lyrics in my head and I gotta lock them in the closet because I don't feel so good about them anymore. But yeah, I'm not shocked.
Being alive to witness the Nicki Minaj going from the super bass to super coon timeline is absolutely insane, because after 2 MAGA events, there's nothing else you can call her. Nothing else.
I'm shocked that y'all shocked about Nicki Minaj. Like, how y'all didn't see this coming? First of all, Exhibit 1, Lil Wayne, is a big supporter, right? So she loves Lil Wayne. Of course, they all. Do y'all not think that Drake is not a supporter neither? Like, I'm so confused all that. Exhibit 2, most foreigners love Master and them, right? So why wouldn't y'all think she wouldn't love these people too? Third, exhibit number 3, most of those people think they rich before they are black. Do y'all get it? Like, remember Snoop Dogg, remember all them that came out, they are rich before they are black now. So that's how they move in the world. And a lot of her supporters, I see, they say they're not going to stop supporting her. It's because if they was rich, they would probably be over there supporting him anyway, too. Like, I don't get why everybody's so confused on this situation. Didn't shock me one bit. Plus, the hate that she has for Meg, Beyonce, and for everybody else that didn't accept her and bring her in and embrace her in the whole Democrat thing. I think this was payback, but I think this is who she always been. I mean, anytime you support men that do that to women, she hates herself, y'all. Like, it's not, don't take a rocket science to figure this stuff out.
Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't think that songs that are talking...
What would I say to Nicki Minaj, to all the haters out there, after that interview with Erica Kirk? I would tell her the same thing that I would tell to every single one of you. And that is to fuck your feelings. We don't give a shit. We don't care if you're offended. We don't care if you're upset. That's your issue. That's not ours. We're only in this mess because we sacrificed our common sense in order not to offend anybody. And those days are finished, they are done, and they are over. You know, many of you don't realize this, but Nicki Minaj put out one of the most beautiful messages, said it out loud and clear for all of us to hear. She said, it's okay, and you're allowed, if you want, to change your mind. So if your leadership has failed you and led you down a dangerous path and in the wrong direction, that you're allowed to stand up and say, I don't align with those values or those policies, and I think that I might take a different direction. To the good Democrats that are out there that don't align with my political views, I get it, I understand, and I'm not holding any of you accountable. But it is enough, and we do have to figure out how to unite. Together, we are going to have to find a way to get behind this president. Because I'm telling you right now that there are very, very bad, destructive leaders coming down the pipe. And if we don't figure this thing out sooner than later, I'm telling you right now, as I'm making this post, we are absolutely going to lose our country. Because socialism is about to manhandle the Democratic and the Republican Party, body slam us in the middle of that ring, and the new champion of the United States of America will be a very, very dangerous communist party.
I am not shocked that Nicki Minaj is sitting next to Erica Kirk and is speaking for Turning Point. This has been Nicki Minaj for years now, and I don't know why we're acting like she was never going to arrive at this point. A true turning point indeed. Nicki Minaj showing up to a Turning Point event with Erica Kirk, talking to Erica Kirk, speaking about Donald Trump, praising him, dissing trans folks, making comments about trans folks, making transphobic comments. Like it's not really funny. It's really sad. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, she's serious, which I already knew, but still it's like, girl, you don't really care. And I honestly blame the Barbs. I blame the Barbs for this. The reasons why I blame her fan base is because they have enabled her behavior for years. And some of the things that she's been called out on, they have defended her against and said it wasn't that serious and it's a hate train. This is why people were criticizing her, because they saw some stupid shit that she was doing. And now, where are we at now? A true turning point indeed.
I have never seen somebody destroy their legacy and get so detached from their demographic like Nicki Minaj did on Turning Point USA last night. What the fuck?
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
Bars. Who the fuck thinks of describing J.D. Vance as an assassin?
Mariah Carey was always right about Nicki Minaj. Little Kim deserves an apology. Beyonce would never. Nicki Minaj is trying to get a pardon for her husband. Felons stick with felons. Rapists stick with rapists. If you know, you know. The downfall of Nicki Minaj should be studied, and I dare any Barb to try and defend Nicki Minaj because her actions are indefensible. Like, what is she doing?
No, because this is actually really fucking weird. Nicki Minaj just showed up at Turning Point USA's AmericaFest for a cozy little Q&A with Erica Kirk, the new head of TPUSA. Yes, that Turning Point USA, the far-right youth org, the culture war factory. Nicki walks on stage saying she's honored to be here, then praises Donald Trump and J.D. Vance for being relatable. Relatable to who? Let's be clear. This is not some random appearance. This is the same Nicki Minaj who spoke at the United Nations with the Trump White House, has been posting Trump Truth Social screenshots, and is now openly aligning herself with the right-wing political infrastructure. And now she's doing events with the widow of Charlie Kirk, who literally just took over TPUSA after his assassination, and is openly promising to fight and expand the movement. A rapper with tens of millions of followers standing on stage with one of the most aggressive conservative organizing machines in the country, and nobody's supposed to notice? Nobody's supposed to ask why a global music icon is suddenly being plugged directly into American far-right power networks? This is influence. This is normalization. And yeah, it's weird as hell. And if that doesn't set off alarm bells for you, you're not paying attention.
You know, this is going to be my last video about MAGA Nicki Minaj, because that's what we're going to call her. She's now MAGA Nicki Minaj. But this video is going to address MAGA in general, because y'all have been up and down my comments on the last two videos that I made about Nicki Minaj and her Turning Point USA attendance. But MAGA, let me let you know something, because I know y'all probably didn't do your research. Did you know at the age of 5, Nicki Minaj came into the U.S. as an undocumented immigrant? You know, the same group of people who y'all right now want them out of the country. So, yes, that was her at the age of 5. And do you know back in 2024, Nicki Minaj herself admitted that she is still not a U.S. citizen. Yeah, again, the same people who y'all want out of this country. She's not a U.S. citizen. And MAGA, did you know that Nicki Minaj has a strong embracing with the LGBTQ plus community? You know, the same people who y'all do not like. She even has a collaboration with a trans artist by the name of Kim Petras. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. But yeah, Nicki Minaj, who y'all are really praising right now, I hope you took a dig into her past because she is everything that y'all are against. That's all.
I would love to tell you what happened. Nicki Minaj got up on the Turning Point USA platform and basically denounced blacks, browns, and LGBTQ by siding allegiance with this administration. Now, she made in that song, Island Gal, Donald Trump want me go home. And she was dissing Donald Trump the earlier part of this year. Now she's saying he handsome and she stand for everything that he stand for, which would be anti-black, brown, and anti-LGBTQ. Basically any of us who are not rich, elite, white. All it is she want to get out of that lawsuit. Okay, the judge ruled in favor. She's got a lawsuit out with her ex-bodyguard that she didn't respond to. So the judge ruled in default of her ex-bodyguard. And she thinks if she aligned herself with them, they'll get her out of it. They don't like her any more than they don't like the rest of us. And she gonna come to find that out soon.
Hey, we gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up.
Erica Kirk. Like, this is bizarre on a whole number of levels. Erica Kirk has been on like this media tour and grieving and in public, and we'll get to that. Some people say grifting, honestly, and we'll get to that. There's something that has to do with that. But there's a headline: Nicki Minaj surprises conservatives with praise for Trump, Vance at the Arizona event. Now, do we need to go into what Charlie Kirk said about black women? And Nicki Minaj is a black woman. She's a woman of color, about not having brain processing power. So maybe Nicki Minaj, according to Charlie Kirk, does not have the brain processing power to figure out what she's doing right now. Look, you can be a conservative, you can be whatever you want, but I believe a grift is a grift is a grift. And I don't know what, there are folks online who are saying maybe this has to do with that she's in financial straits. I don't know that. That's what the streets are saying. That's what the internet is saying. I don't know that to be true, but that's what they're saying. There's also saying there's someone in her family possibly that she wants pardoned or exonerated or something changed. I just remember, we'll talk about her husband and all of that because Gavin Newsom, I think, took care of all of that for all of us. So Nicki Minaj is at this Turning Points USA event, and she has this praise for Donald Trump and for J.D. Vance. In the process of praising both of them, she made a huge, huge, huge blunder. Now, I want you to remember, you guys know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, right? Or was killed. I don't know if you want to call it an assassination or something, whatever. But a bullet took his life. And Nicki Minaj gets up and she says this.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Trust me,
There's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I do not judge that.
Sister. Thank you. For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Now, what does that mean? Of course it's okay to be a boy. It's okay to be a girl. It's okay to be anyone. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be straight. It's okay to be a grifting rapper. It's okay to be a grifting political person. If that's what you choose to be. I don't think that it's okay to, I shouldn't say it's okay to be a grifter. But you do you. And what does she mean it's okay to be a boy? Of course it is. Like, say what you mean. Don't choke on your words. Don't just say what you mean. What does that mean? It's okay to be a boy. Of course it is. And so she did that whole thing. A couple of things for Gavin Newsom. She goes into Gavin Newsom. And I'm not here to defend Gavin Newsom, but I know a read and an own when I see one. So she said that she had that moment about Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California, obviously, and will probably run for president. And so she tweeted this about Gavin Newsom. And let me make it here bigger so I can see it. She said, imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even trans adult. A trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Gab out. Send in the next guy. I'm bored. And then Gavin Newsom's press office responded by posting this. Know your neighborhood and protect your community. Wait, hold on. California's Megan's Law website makes it easy to access publicly available information about registered sex offenders in your area. Bravo, press team. Whoever it is that's running his socials and his press, that was pretty amazing. You know why it's amazing? It's amazing because Nicki Minaj's husband is a registered sex offender. And as of September of 2025, his name is Kenneth Petty. He was on supervision, remains on supervised probation. This is according to I think it's People magazine, remains on supervised probation for failing to register as a sex offender in California. Additionally, Petty is embroiled in an ongoing civil lawsuit from a woman who he allegedly sexually assaulted in 1994. And then it goes on. Okay. So he is a registered sex offender. And Gavin Newsom's office posted that. Look, nothing funny about being a sex offender, but that was a complete own. And so, again, people don't know what to make of Nicki Minaj right now. She's doing this, especially with a man who said that Black women did not have brain processing power. And Black folks are like wondering what is going on with Nicki Minaj. And then she makes the assassin flub, okay? And then Erica Kirk, no less, makes a flub of her own. Because people have been calling Erica Kirk a grifter and others who they believe are grifting off of Charlie Kirk's death, meaning the president, the vice president. Again, that's not me saying that. Well, that's what it looks like, that they're grifting off of someone's death. Erica Kirk has, again, been on this media tour people grieve differently. But this is a flub that she made about grifting. Here it is.
Despite the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day. Trust me, you're not a grifter, honey. It's all good.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I mean, some things you just really don't have to say anything. Is that Freudian? I think that's what they call Freudian. Not to be outdone, JD Vance weighed in as well. JD Vance tweeting this about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj said something at AmFest that was really profound. I'm paraphrasing, but she said, just because I want little black girls to think that they're beautiful doesn't mean I need to put down little girls. I mean, I need to put down little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. We all got wrapped up over the last few years in zero-sum thinking. This was because the people who think they rule the world pit us against one another. Nicki Minaj rejects that. We all should. JD Vance, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's putting down little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. You think little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes have it bad right now? Ask them that they would rather be little girls, little black girls, or little girls who did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. Just ask them that. Does not mean that you need to put down. I don't know what he's talking about, but you guys let me know if you think that little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes, if they are having issues. That's what I would like to know. And I don't know. I just don't understand what that even means, because I've heard people who promote, who say, we want little black girls to know that they're beautiful, because that's not the standard of beauty in America. It's not usually little black girls. It's usually little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. If you think about beauty, just traditionally, historically, beauty pageant contestants, not always, right? We had first Black Miss America and all those things, whatever. But the standard of beauty for such a long time is blonde hair and blue eyes. And you walk down any street, go to any salon, they'll tell you the number one color that everybody wants, all the white ladies want, is this blonde. They all get the same color blonde hair or highlights or whatever it is. So come on, JD Vance. Give me a break with that. But somehow this is what happens when you get close to that. They use like a black person to justify their bigotry and their racism. See black people, you should be like Nicki Minaj. See what Nicki Minaj said about little blonde girls, that she doesn't want to make them feel bad, even though she says that black girls are beautiful too. Nobody's saying that if black girls are beautiful, that I guess he's insinuating white girls. No one is saying because you said black girl is beautiful, that you're saying that a white girl is not. By even thinking that way, that shows your bias and your bigotry. So let me just say this. JD Vance should be, when Nicki Minaj says, don't be like Gavin Newsom, as she called it, she should be saying, don't be like JD Vance, be more like Gavin Newsom, and know how to own someone when they call you out of your name. And I think what she's saying, what Gavin Newsom and his press team are saying right there, perhaps is maybe Nicki Minaj does not have the brain processing power to understand when she's being owned or used. What is she doing? Now, Nicki Minaj has trafficked in some conspiracy theories, you guys. I don't know if you remember around COVID, primarily like social media posts and public statements. There was one that was really notable about the claims that she shared during COVID about her cousin's COVID-19 vaccination, alleged swollen testicles. And just that was in 2021, just all kinds of things. So it's Nicki Minaj being Nicki Minaj, except this time Nicki Minaj, she's people scratching their head because this was at a Turning Point USA conference. I think it's called AmFest. And she not only showed up, but with Charlie Kirk's widow hand in hand. Watch it. Okay. By the way, what stage of grief?
I need all motherfucking Barbs to the front. All Nicki Minaj fans, I need y'all to the front. Because I need y'all to explain to me, aside from the obvious, of why Nicki Minaj would basically commit career suicide by going on the Turning Point with Erica Kirk. And in support of full-blown support for Donald Trump. Now, for me, I could clearly see, it was visible, that even her spewing out those motherfucking lies that she was attempting to, act as if they were her own words, it was like, basically like somebody was pushing shards of glass out through her voice, like it was coming up through her throat. Like, it was, for me now, this is what I saw, that it was just that hard for her to push the motherfucking lies out. Now, she did it none the motherfucking less. So I'm going to hold for her accountable for what she motherfucking said. The fact that he, anything in support of his administration, in support of Donald Trump and the things that he has done, in her knowing full-blown well that he has done nothing but cause motherfucking chaos and dissension amongst American people and other fucking countries. And the fact that the racism, the misogynism, the chauvinism, I mean, I can just go on and on with the isms. But the point is that too, I know she had to know. And if she didn't, then something is definitely wrong. But to know that, I know that Trump, them, and their administration just sitting back, kicking their motherfucking heels, laughing. The fact that they knew what they were doing to her. And it's not that they're trying to use her, y'all, to get more people on their side. I think they understand and grasp in full totality that that's not going to motherfucking happen for the majority of people. But it's the fact that they wanted to use her to show y'all, again, their power. That they can take y'all bestest of superstars, y'all, and make them be their motherfucking puppets and dance for them for public consumption while they are humiliated. You think like I said, I know y'all been saying about her getting pardons and all this shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. The fact is that no person, I don't care if you're of a certain moral fiber and character, I don't care what they were offering and what you needed done. Somebody that has shown that they are as diabolical as Trump and his administration deserve none of what Nicki Minaj was spewing out of her motherfucking mouth. And again, for her to commit career suicide for something like that, I really hope that it's going to be worth it for her. And I don't think that it fucking is. Now, do I believe that a lot of her fans are still going to be right there? Of course, they're going to make excuses, blah, 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 blah. But again, somebody like her who stands in the position to affect so many amount of people around the world. She says she's been performed in front of lots of people, millions of people around the world. And this is how the fuck she chose to use her goddamn voice, was in defense of the Trump administration. Kind of see why the goddamn Cardi B fans be going in. Y'all motherfucking barb so hard now.
Have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win, and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. This administration is full of people with heart and soul, and they make me proud of them. Our vice president, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not, don't you guys agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American. And for young men, don't be new scum. You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin, J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. I love you. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you. For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. There's nothing wrong with being a boy. Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. If as black women, we felt that we were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty, if we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful.
I don't have an issue with Nicki Minaj saying, hey, I care about the persecution of Christians. I don't have an issue with her saying, hey, I want to weigh in on matters that are taking place on the continent of Africa. I think we should do more of that. My issue is she took the talking points literally from MAGA. Now, again, just because MAGA say it don't mean that it's wrong. It often does, but it doesn't mean that as such, interrogate it.
Sure.
Hear the other side. See what's going on, because what they often do is their points are lightly dipped in truth. They'll take a thing that's true and make that the whole story. So are Christians dying in Nigeria? Yes, they are. But if we frame it as a uniquely Christian thing, if we say that they're being attacked because they're Christian, we lose sight of what's actually happening in Nigeria. We lose sight of the actual complicated ethnic and tribal infighting and battles that are happening. And we lose sight of the fact that the people who are purveying most of the violence don't care if you're Muslim or Christian. Yes, they're killing Christians, but they're also killing Muslims. They're also kidnapping people for not being properly Muslim.
It's coke and crack. And on top of that, Nicki Minaj done lost her mind. She's definitely not misunderstood. She's understood perfectly. She sat on that Turning Point stage, which is a petting zoo for white grievances, and did exactly what the fuck they wanted her to do. She endorsed Trump. She took shots at the LGBT community and leaned into the dog whistle about boys being boys, knowing goddamn well that that has only existed to excuse sexual violence. And she did it while carrying the water for the same men in her life who have been accused and convicted of rape and sexual assault. The same people that she spent years trying to erase like the victims were. But that's not irony. That is alignment. And she's done a great job at doing it the last couple of days. So stop acting shocked when these women telling us who they were for the longest time start doing exactly what the that they said that they were going to do, which is what the Bible said, in case y'all forgot that one. What changed is that she finally said it on stage, who were built by the same people that want her, the queer people that love her, and all the immigrants that she claims to care about, gone. And then the audacity to do that shit in front of a white supremacist ass who went on tour instead of mourning her husband. Baby, that is not bravery. That is buck dancing for approval. That is the black woman auditioning for whiteness by throwing other black women under the bus and smiling while you do it. Let's be even more honest, Nicki. You built your brand on the culture of queer people, ballroom aesthetics, gender play, femme access. All of that came from us. You made it profitable, and now you're using that same platform to side with people who want those very same folks legislated out of existence, and you're biting the hand that feeds you. But, Barbs, let me go and talk to y'all real quick, because all of the gay ones, yeah, I'm sick of you. You don't get to scream protect black women and then cape for a woman who protects rapists. You don't get to claim that queer love and all of these things get to exist, but then excuse her transmisia because the beat slaps. You don't get to call this growth or free thought or she can mind the business that pays her, because this is politics, and politics are people's lives, and she has enough influence to change them. At this point, defending her is not fandom, it's consent to all of the violence that she's causing. And you've shown that you don't mind it because you like the music. She'll call it individuality while cosplaying oppression. She no longer cares who she stands with as long as she gets what she wants. So this is not to cancel her. This is consequence culture. It's the sound of people finally saying that they've been biting their tongues for years and now we're sick of it. Nicki didn't fall off. She sold out. And anybody still writing for her needs to ask themselves why celebrity loyalty feels more important than collective survival. Because until y'all can answer that for me, you, her, them pink wigs, and them tour, and whatever the she's releasing in these next couple of months, I hope it flops like she wants Carney to do, because I'll be at that tour. Hello, it's me.
So as we know, Nicki Minaj was at Turning Point USA's AmFest this past weekend. Yes, she was paid for that. It's more necessarily about the fact why all of this makes sense.
Name a bitch that's fucking with me. Go ahead and call them out. Bitch, that's what I thought. Give a fuck about that.
Nicki has made jokes in the past and has talked about like make my ass great again. She even said on a song back in 2012 that she's like a Republican, but she said it on a song. People thought she was joking, and then that line "make my ass great again, MAGA," that was in like a song she did with Lil Uzi. A lot of people just kind of swept past that. However, between that, her comments about the vaccine, and her cousin in Trinidad, and then also you gotta look at a lot of things that happened this year with Cardi B And with people online for years saying, like, Nicki, that man is spending your money, you're broke, you need to, like, she was just in the news. She also had a judge tell her that she might need to sell her $20 million LA mansion to deal with this hefty debt she had. Yes, Nicki did get paid to appear at Turning Point USA, where she praised Donald Trump, said boys should be boys, and called J.D. Vance an assassin to the face of a person who was widowed because their husband was assassinated. So, we could talk about the fall from grace, we could talk about this is where I wash my hands of Nicki Minaj. However, this is the same woman who supported her brother during his trial. And I don't understand how nobody's hands was washed when that happened. So when people talk about, I wash my hands of Nicki, I have to turn on my barb chain, you guys never turned your chain on during this. It took this point in her life for y'all to be like, maybe we all do need to take a step back. This should have not even been the cherry on the top for you guys. We can make a whole bunch of speculation as to, like, why is Nicki even doing this? What is making her think like this was a great idea? We have a whole bunch of theories. I don't want to speculate and, like, make my assumptions. However, Nicki did get paid for this. Just talked about the fact that she does have a $20 million LA mansion with a debt, and her brother is in jail because of a abuse crime. And that's just what I know off the top of my head, Google have in front of me to present to you today. But my only commentary about this isn't surprising to me. Her brother's in jail, her husband is an offender. What makes you think she wasn't going to do this?